What happens at laser tag never stays at laser tag.
Laser Unfocused Tag Talk.
Laser Unfocused Tag Talk.
I feel like you could be like in Ghostbusters or something.
Oh my God, you have got some stories.
Let's talk about laser tag.
Who knew you were a laser tag legend?
Time to get laser unfocused. Tag Talk with Tivia.
Sometimes you play tag with a player for years before you hear their laser tag origin story. Today, we get to hear the tag story of Ski Patrol. So today we're going to hear the tag story of Ski Patrol from a longtime laser tag enthusiast and player, Dave Merriott from up in Canada. How's it going, Dave?
Going good tonight.
Very good. Well, I appreciate you joining me. And, for as many years as we've known each other and played laser tag together, I have not heard the full story of how it all began for you. So I love to hear how people came to laser tag and what keeps them motivated. And so I would love to hear, how did you first get involved? When did you first play laser tag? And what about it kept you hooked for life?
Well, the first time I played laser tag would have been, many years ago. First year of college. I had a job at Dairy Queen at the time. Bunch of staff decided we'd go play laser tag. I'd never played, so I'm like, sure, I'll give it a try. Walked in and was instantly hooked. I loved it. Just the black lights, the fog, firing lasers at people. Just kind of cool.
Where did you play for the first time?
The first time was Laser Mania in Hamilton. They had Zone System T at the time. That was before they had all the Stun DIAC.
I remember that. I remember playing there too. So awesome. And so it grabbed you right away and you didn't go anywhere, but you went, well, that's not true because you went lots of places. You played a lot of places, different sites, different systems. And so from the get-go, let me ask you, did you always go by the name Ski Patrol?
No, actually, my first code name that I used was Dark Nemesis.
Dark Nemesis?
I found it online and thought it sounded cool, so I used it for laser tag for quite a long time.
Awesome. And when and why did you change your code name?
Maybe about 10 years ago, I changed it. Just sounded better. Actually, my part-time winter job is a ski patrol, so I decided to use that.
I know a lot of people who are nemesis in the world of laser tag, but you're the only Ski Patrol I've come across. So.
I like to be unique.
Love that. And so tell me about what happened after that first time that you played. Where did you go from there and how did you start exploring other sites and other systems?
Well, started becoming a regular there. And through that, found out about members nights, became a member and started playing regularly every Tuesday night with a lot of the other regulars. After, I think it got to the summertime, a lot of people stopped going just because they were doing other things. As we all know, laser tag is pretty quiet through the summer. So we ended up looking for other locations. And that's when I came across Laser Quest and found that they had lots of locations.
Now, I always think of you as being more a Laser Quest person than anything else, but correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, when you first found Laser Quest, did that just immediately become a home site or did it become one of a variety of things you were experiencing?
It was mostly just Laser Quest. Went to Laser Quest Mississauga for the first time and found out there's other locations and went to all of them. Ended up getting into tournaments through Laser Quest, actually.
When was your first tournament and where did you play?
Um, that's going a while back. Honestly, I think it might have been NAC Regionals in Clinton Township in Michigan.
Okay. Do you remember what year?
Oh, no, that was a long time ago.
Okay. I want to talk to you a little bit about the tournaments that you've been in, but also just a little bit about, you've been playing for so long. I'd love to kind of get your vantage point. I mean, going all the way back to System T, let's compare the older laser tag that you started out with versus some of the newer tag that you play now. What would you say are some of the coolest features of the system that attracted you back then compared to some of what you get to play and think is pretty cool these days?
Well, back then it was just really all laser tag to me. But getting into Armageddon and playing various other laser tag systems. There's definitely lots of out there, and they all different have their different fun things and quirks and downsides. Like an example is the very first laser tag system, Photon. I had the opportunity to play that traveling down to Laurel, Maryland. Went down there for a tournament for Lasertron, and they ended up pulling out the photon packs for one evening and played with those. That's definitely the most unique system I've played because you're wearing the helmet and you're not really wearing a pack, it's a battery pack instead.
Love it. Mm-hmm. What did you think of that whole experience?
It was quite unique because a lot of the players that we played with that time were actually old photon players. So they were doing like head bobs and weaving and all kinds of things.
It's so funny that you say your first time with Photon was at Laurel, Maryland, because so was mine. Not at that tournament, but my first time playing was also at XP Laser Sport when they hosted the first FoCon event, the 30th anniversary of laser tag. So it was very cool that they made Photon available for people who had never played it before, who weren't old school players from back in the day, but that we got to have a little taste of that experience too.
Exactly. I just wish they were still around.
So do I. Well, there's a lot of systems that we wish were still around for sure. And I think anybody who's lost their home site, it's sad. And then you pick up the pieces and you start doing new things. And you have not stopped playing laser tag. What do you play these days?
Closest to me, I have Cyber Blast. There's actually three of them.
Okay.
And even more recently, I've discovered that there is a couple laser maxes nearby. One's an old Quest Arena. Don't really like the way they have their settings that they play, but I've discovered another one that has an older generation of Max. Go to their late nighters every month lately, and they play all kinds of fun games. They have similarity to Color Conquest, ones that even mimic Laser Quest type games.
Awesome. What site is that? Want to give them a shout out?
That is Zap Attack Tag in Peterborough, Ontario. I'm
Cool.
also going to say they have the best laser tag staff I've ever encountered.
Well, go Peterborough. Very nice. Well, I know that you're finding a lot of new things to play now as the scene has evolved. And would you call either of those your new home system, or do you still consider yourself predominantly a Quest player?
Well, unfortunately, Quest isn't around in North America anymore, so can't really say we play Quest. So I'm going to have to say Laser Max is now my home system.
Okay, so that's the one that you gravitate to the most. After all these years, what would you say is it that really still drives you to play tag?
It's just a fun event. I mean, I've met a lot of great people like you and many others all around the world playing laser tag.
Community really seems to be like the staple. Everybody goes back to that's the reason that they continue to do and play the game. And I totally agree with that. I've met some awesome people like you, and the community has been really cool. Tell me about your tag community and what's really cool about it.
Well, I really wish we could bring back Laser Quest, first of all, because we had there's like 6 or 7 sites local to me, all within about an hour. So every Tuesday night, we used to all get together for dinner and then go play some laser tag games. I mean, meeting people from all over the world as well through tournaments. Always a fun time.
Do you have a local community that you play with, or do you just kind of wait for the tournaments to find your extended family?
Mostly tournaments these days. I mean, at the Laser Max, there's probably 3 or 4 regular members that show up every weekend or every time that we do a late nighter.
Well, feeling like we are really part of the same laser tag community, I think it's great that we have opportunities through meeting at tournaments to then kind of support each other otherwise. And you recently came down to Syracuse for Tag for a Cause, and that was awesome because I mean, we're sort of centrally located in the state, and we had players that I could point to and say, hey, people came out from Buffalo, and look at this guy, he came from Canada. I know that was really impressive to some of the people from the cause we were helping. And so it's really cool that we do meet people through the scene, and then there's all sorts of nice opportunities to kind of keep that community growing.
Yeah, I mean, I've been coming down to Syracuse there for probably the last 4 or 5 months on members nights. There's fairly big scene down there. Unfortunately, don't really have that up here.
Well, we're always excited to have you joining us in that area. And again, it kind of stems from getting involved in the tournament scene. Now, you've been doing this for a while. So tell me roughly, how many tournaments have you been in?
Oh, there's a lot. I mean, Armageddon almost every year since 2004.
Oh,
The
wow.
first year actually that I did Armageddon, didn't have enough players, so they were looking for players locally to fill up teams. That first year back in 2004, I believe it was, they did a route that started in Buffalo, came through Canada, down through Michigan, Ohio, and back to Buffalo. So that year I did the actual reality and Laser Quest in London. And then following year, 2005, I've got on a team and pretty much played every year since. There's maybe 3 or 4 years that I took off in between there. But one of the biggest things I look forward to, my summer vacation and going down to Armageddon tournament.
Yep, and I'm excited about that coming up right around the corner. And yeah, 20 years, I mean, over 20 years of playing in that scene. No doubt you've got some stories. And I love to hear tournament memories are the funniest and sometimes the one that we have to bleep out. But I want to know, what is your best memory from all of the tournaments that you've played over these 20 plus years?
Oh, there's been so many, but one that really sticks out is Exit from Sweden. One night we were fooling around in the hotel room, just doing usual shenanigans. And can't remember exactly what brought it up, but she's a kickboxer and she decided to kick somebody right in the head.
Oh my goodness.
He was
And were they
okay, but
okay?
yeah, it was quite amusing though. I mean, other
Okay.
hotel shenanigans, like a few years ago, the hotel had some round tubular pillows. So a whole bunch of us grabbed those pillows and had a giant pillow fight out in the hallway.
I remember dodging my way through that to get to my room. Oh, goodness. Anything else come to mind? Funny stories from tournaments or otherwise? Because I know that, we all have shenanigans is exactly the right word for laser tag.
Yes, it is. There's been lots. I mean, from the icing of giving someone, having them find a Smirnoff Ice somewhere and having to drink it. One year we found these giant, I'm not sure what they're called, but they're like giant balls with a handle on top of it. You sit on it and hop around on them.
Oh,
We went to the hotel on
hippity
those.
hops, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah. So you took those into the hotel.
Oh, yes.
That sounds about
100%.
right.
I mean, I've even traveled to Sweden to do the Armageddon tournament there. I will
Really?
say, stairs are a scary thing in a laser tag arena.
I have always sort of felt that myself. Now, tell me about Sweden, though. I mean, now you can really say, I mean, it's one thing going from Canada to the United States, but going to Sweden, you're really playing internationally. So, what are some of the differences that you found in the scene when you were traveling abroad?
It's pretty no different than here, really, other than the arenas. I mean, I think my most favorite arena ever was a Laser Force arena in Stockholm. It was in the basement of a building, but the basement was carved out of stone. So it's like you're going through caves and caverns. It was really cool. And the other thing, stairs. A couple of the arenas had stairs, and you got to watch out for them because you can fall down them.
Indeed. So, yeah, they seem to be a little bit more into that in other countries, it seems. Not that we have a few arenas with stairs here, of course, but it seems like from the stories that I've heard, there are some very unique and interesting setups in some of those arenas, and you got to see it firsthand.
Oh yes, for sure. It's a lot of fun.
All right. Well, we've talked about shenanigans in the general realm of the tournaments, but any interesting things that have come your way in the game? Any
Oh,
funny moments or memorable moments playing?
yes. One of the NAC regionals, we were playing against two of the best Laser Quest teams ever. And in our team, just decided to have some fun, knowing we're not going to come out winning at all. So every 2 minutes, our team captain would yell, whatever. And then the rest of the team would yell, whatever. And we would basically run to the opposite corner of the arena. It confused the heck out of all the other teams. They're like, what's going on? It actually ended up working as a strategy because we ended up coming second place because of it. I think they were just too confused, or something caused them to say, this isn't normal, but what's going on?
I love it. Confusing with chaos.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very cool. So it sounds like a lot of things happened during those knack experiences. And so many people have well, people in every scene have wonderful experiences of their own system and the things that have happened within it. But Laser Quest in particular really seems to have this hardcore loyalty that is really nice to see. Even though we don't have it active in North America right now, it's like you still see that community going strong in socials and message boards and whatnot. And how do you feel about your place in that part of laser tag history?
Yeah, it's definitely something that's never really going to die. It's something we'll always talk about. When talking to friends about it, we're always bring up, hey, remember this time when we did this, or remember when we did that?
What was your favorite tournament ever to play?
There's been a lot of them, but probably Armageddon for sure, just because it brings everyone from around the world together. You get to hang out, play laser tag together.
Well, and more specifically, was there any particular year of Armageddon that really stood out as being super special to you?
That's probably the first full one I did. That was the one from Ohio through Canada and back, just because I had never really played any other systems competitively. There's always been Laser Quest. Sure, there's been a few where I went to just to play for fun, but to learn how to play those systems like Laser Storm, the giant dust buster, or Flashlight. The first time I saw that, I'm like, what is this? This isn't laser tag. But over the years, I've come to love it.
Okay. Yeah, I think when you first play Armageddon, and it probably depends on what your experience was prior to that point, but I know for me, like I had not done little tournaments along the way. I found Armageddon like really early in my laser tag journeys and jumped just feet first into the experience and had like eye-opening experience to see all of these different systems and want to try them out. Were you fairly well ingrained in the scene at that point, or was it just all brand new to you?
It was all pretty much brand new to me, other than the Laser Quest, really. I had been to Buffalo a few times to play the Tron there. That was one of the stops as well. And after that, went to several other places like the Laser Force in Detroit.
Now,
And
oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
I can't remember which year it is, but one of the interesting arenas that had Blast in it, it had a giant pirate ship in the middle of it.
Oh, Scallywags.
Yes, that's it.
Yes. Scallywag Tag, I think it's called. And I
Yep,
think there
that
were a
sounds
couple
right.
of them, but yeah. Okay, so let me ask, what was the most interesting arena you've ever played?
Oh, there's two that really stick out. My most favorite one is no longer around, which was Laser Quest London It was
Uh,
an old department store where they ripped out the floors and built the arena through it. So there's basically 3 floors of all kinds of things where you can shoot from the top to bottom, ramps and all kinds of things. The next favorite one was definitely the Laser Force in Sweden because it was in that cavernous basement. And top third would probably be, I have to say, Arena 51 in Ohio.
okay, now that's a good one, and that one is really unique. The build is very different. Um, I know that's one of your favorites because we've talked about that a lot. So for anybody who hasn't been there, can you kind of describe what is cool about Arena 51? Because that's one that people can still get to and play pretty easily.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Aztec kind of old school type arena. Depending on how many players they have in there, they actually have gates that they can shrink the arena, make it bigger, make it smaller. There's 2 floors or 2.5 floors, really. It's a bunch of ramps. There's a big, huge hallway in the middle of the arena.
I always sort of think of that one as really very much divided into two different halves and parts. That yes, you can tag across, but do you kind of look at that same way?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I mean, the
Yeah.
first time I played there was actually first year of Armageddon. It had Laser X back in the day.
Oh, really? So Intersphere.
I think so.
Okay.
Clear packs where you could see all the innards and the wiring.
The innards. I like that.
Yes.
Okay, so they've gone through some evolution and you've experienced it a couple of different ways along this journey. And yeah, I think that some of those are really cool arenas. I remember the Laser Quest London as well. And it's ironic. I was playing there and I think I messaged you and you were working or something. So we didn't get to play together that day. But am I right in remembering that one had like a gecko on the wall or on one of the pipes? Am I
It
right
had
on that?
several actually.
Okay. Because I'm a gecko mama, so that
Yes.
that resonated with me. I think I had to take a picture of that one before it disappeared. So some very cool arenas, and always sort of spurs interesting memories. What do you say is your favorite, best memory from all your years of playing laser tag?
Oh, that's a good one. There's been so many. Probably the road trips with teammates. Probably even the one to Chicago. Drove down there, ended up needing gas. So one person got out of the car to get gas. The rest of us refused to get out because we were in a scary ghetto area.
Uh,
That same time crossing the border guard was like, "Do you have any alcohol?" We're like, "Yeah, a case." So he looks in the trunk and there's like 3 or 4 cases because all of us brought one.
oh dear.
It's like, okay, go. Just all the stories and camaraderie on the road trips is also the great thing.
Seems to me like explaining yourself when you're crossing the border to play laser tag can sometimes be a weird conversation. Like I remember going into Canada just for a day trip just to play laser tag, and to anybody who knows me, that's perfectly normal. But I remember the border guard said, "Okay, well, what are you here for, and how long are you staying?" And he's like, when I told him, he was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's just what I do." Uh, any of that kind of thing for you?
Oh yeah, quite
Yeah.
frequently. Most common question is, are you bringing any equipment with you? I'm like, no, it's all at the sites. We don't have our own.
Would they let you go through with the equipment, do you think?
Probably. They might take a close look at it, but
Hmm,
I don't see it being an issue, I don't think.
no. Well, yeah, going between Canada and the States for tag, a lot of different things going on in both places. I very much enjoyed some of my trips up there for tag, and so you've got a lot of very cool laser tag arenas. Um, what are some of the arenas that you would highly recommend that if people haven't played, that they make a point to get up to Canada and experience?
Well, I would normally recommend Laser Mania. The arena is fabulous. The other one I'd definitely recommend is, again, getting out to Zapotak in Peterborough. amazing staff, nice L-shaped arena. And the third one is it's an old Quest arena. It's Laser Max in Whitby.
Okay. Very good. And the Laser Quest, I don't think I've played it since it's been a Laser Max. I played it as Laser Quest. I've played a couple of Laser Maxes up your way, but what do you like about that arena?
Just the size of it, 2 floors, because it's a former Laser Quest arena. It feels like home. It's because almost every Laser Quest arena kind of looked the same or had the same decorations, the same kind of walls, same
It still has the
fencing.
vibe.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, walking into former Laser Quests, a lot of them still do kind of give you that nostalgia.
And they even still use the Quest players code.
Okay, can you recite it without looking?
Yes. Do you want the pre 9/11 or after 9/11?
Well, let's go old school. Let's see how much you remember.
Okay, that's an easy one. I will not run, climb, or jump. I will not sit, kneel, or lie down. I will not cover any targets. I will not use offensive language. I will not make physical contact with other players. I will play hard, play smart, and play to survive.
Oh, and that's the line that they changed afterwards?
Yes,
Okay.
they also changed one of the other ones. Targets. They changed to sensors.
Okay. Well, you know what? A lot in the world changed. And so, laser tag has always really tried to be very family friendly with its terminology, though. And I think that that's kind of an important thing because it runs the gamut of all ages. And I think that, it's smart that laser tag has been so conscious of the terminology that is used. Do you agree with that?
Yes, 100%. I mean, you go and you hear the public say, like, oh, I need that gun. I'm like, no, it's a phaser, not a
Phaser,
gun.
phaser. Or as Quest used to call it, handheld units. Is that what they used to say?
It
Although I've
depends on
always
where
heard,
you went.
yeah,
A lot of the times I said phaser or laser there.
yeah, I like phaser. Kind of harkens back to Star Wars where it all began.
Yep.
All right. Any other stories or memories to share before I ask you to join me in some rapid fire tag talk?
Um, that's a good question, but honestly, there's just so many. Lots of great memories, lots of fun. So not that can come off the top of my head right now, actually.
Well, I've appreciated having a chance to reminisce with you. And I always like to end these with some rapid fire, fast questions to you, quick answers right back. So you game?
Sure.
All right. First, we'll start with what is your favorite site to play besides whichever one you consider your home site?
Favorite site is definitely Arena 51 in Ohio.
All right. What's your favorite game format?
I'm going to say Color Conquest.
What's your favorite system?
Oh, right now I'm going to have to say Storm.
Okay. What is the most obscure game format that you like?
Uh, Duck season, rabbit season.
Oh, you are just asking for the trolls to come out, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Because we all know that is obscure.
Where is the coolest place that you've ever traveled because of laser tag?
Definitely Sweden.
Cool. Who's the coolest person you've ever met through laser tag?
Oh, there's been so many. I'm going to have to say Exit from Sweden. She's amazing.
All right. What has been your favorite prize or souvenir?
Actually, the souvenir I'll go with was the shot glass. The first tournament I went to was in Chicago area, and I picked up a shot glass. Actually, since then, everywhere I go now, I start collecting shot glasses. So I have a whole bunch of them.
Awesome. Start a little tradition there.
Yes,
All right. What's your favorite snack at the snack bar?
pizza.
Good one. What's your favorite brand of We Never Run in the Arena shoes?
Um, I don't know. I wear lots of shoes. Whatever brand's on sale at the time.
Okay. And what final thought would you like to share about your laser tag experience?
If you haven't played, go out and play. I guarantee you're going to have a good time.
Definitely. Well, this has been really cool to reminisce with you and to hear a little bit of the Ski Patrol origin story. So thank you so much for joining me. That is my guest, Dave Merriott.
Thank you.
Thanks for checking out this episode of Laser Unfocused Tag Talk. Listen for more episodes on the first and third Friday of each month. Want to be a guest on an upcoming episode? Find out more and follow my blog and website at TiviaChickLovesLaserTag.com.